Hi guys and welcome to my stream. This is Our Life. I've never played this before. It's got some high ratings on there with a lot of people loving their boyfriend on it. So I'm assuming this lovely dude here is our man. So let's give it a shot. So new file. Oh, tutorial time. Okay. Welcome to iLife Beginnings and Always. There are various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. To start off, this game is divided into three time periods called steps. Step 1, childhood. Step 2, adolescence. And Step 3, teenage. Our life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Those are called moments. Moments can be played in any order or skipped entirely. You move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting the summer is ending. Okay, that makes sense. Steps 1 to 3 include 5 moments each, and even more can be unlocked by purchasing DLCs. Some are out now and other DLCs will be released later on. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play. You determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. You can decide to change the details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye colour can't be altered once set. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type in any name you like, or you can pick a preset name. Preset options are called voice names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You get to hear him saying your name as you play through the story. Only the default name, Jamie, is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added by getting a free voice named expansion. Well, that's interesting. The full collection of names is separated out as a DLC because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't have to get it. Each name in the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported this project. On the character creation screen, there is a cute doll you can decorate if you get an idea of what your MC looks like with different traits put together. This is a lot of information. Not all things you decide about the MC appear on the doll. The screen referencing what you've decided for the MC is the main way those decisions influence the game. Our life is a first-person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to your other character's sprites. You only see the MC as the decorative doll, and in special cut scene CG images. The cut-in CGs only appear if certain choices are made. It's possible not to see any during a playthrough. There is also a second type of special MC-based screen, the interest comfort screen. Unless you get DLCs, the game has one love interest at Cove Holden. He grows up with the MC, and the interest comfort screen is crucial for determining how things play out. Oh my word! Interest level sets on how... Oh, sorry, my phone's just gone. Someone walking past my door. There are 4 levels: disinterest, fond, crush, love. Love is the only available starting September 3rd, and if you're fond of crush, on September 2nd. Do I have to read all this? Current level interest. Should have had a timer on how long this would take. Don't you think? Get along, have a close relationship, you can touch him, go for occasionally interact, and comfort in ways. Crush on love, make sure that everything's tasks go along nicely. There will be extra choices to determine initiative level. Many of us feature more detail. Okay. If you decide you like her, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. Oh, okay. You can't break up with them, you'll be stuck. Interest comfort gets the basics down, but choice to pay throughout the game. Normal pets have an MC and curve. Oh my word. Oh! Okay, we finally got through that. That was a bit of a waste of time, wasn't it? Okay, so this is me. Okay.
Jamie.
Oh, so that's how the voice name goes back. Okay. Let's see. The peach face is really cute. Now, I am always... Ooh, I was going to say I'm always pale, but I don't look like that. Okay, so we'll go with peachy. We've got a peach face and a peachy skin tone. Nice. Let's see. Ooh. Very angry eyes. Smoke. Let's go with sharp. That looks red. That does not look brown. Okay. Oh, okay. That's red. Okay. We'll go grey. Oh my god, she looks like she's coming from the ring. Ooh, now that's a look. That right there, that's a look. So, I kind of like... Ooh, I like that. Hair back. Buns. Braids. Snake, ponytail. Oh my god, there's so many options. Oh yeah, let's go with that. Oh, you can change the front and back. We'll go with blue. Okay. Oh, you can change their gender too. That's so cool. Well, I'll go with she. We will change the name. What should we change the name to? Okay. We'll go with Jin because that's my OC. And last name. We'll go Galaxy. Okay, so that is done. What does change page do? Birthmarks? Oh my god, okay. That's kind of cool. We want some... Oh! Well, I have freckles, so I'm going to put freckles. Hand size. Look at that. Oh, ooh. Outskirts dresses. Okay. We can't see this stuff, but I guess that's what will be made available throughout the game. I think we'll go with that. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination, with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, but most often just said hello. You didn't really get why you always had to say hi. They saw these are the options, okay. You end up saying hi to a lot of different people since most of the tourists came and went every summer. Well, I'll go with this one. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You enjoyed learning about where they were all visiting from and hoped to visit those places one day too. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever, or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into those residential districts, as your moms called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red lights. Your mums had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. I'll go with this one because it seems the most logical for me as a child. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. You weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. You slowed down, your mind racing for ideas on how to get past him, unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met, and you took in a shaky breath. Your eyes darted to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! His voice startled you and made you jump, but still, you didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost, its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way towards you. I don't think I would stand and stare. Well, that would be me, I guess. So, still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered the stranger a smile. The man gives a grin of his own back. Oh, okay. It's kind of cute. He's got a manta ray tattoo. That's really nice. Do you live around here? What's your name? You look the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He's got sharks on his pants. Is that relaxing? Oh god, it's literally what I've just pointed out. Okay. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo. You wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Should I give him my name? Yeah, I'll go with giving our name. I live right there. My name is Jin. Great. Nice to meet you, Jin. He gave you a broad smile, relief sitting on his face. Ooh, money. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hands as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him.
Well...
Could you do me a favor? Nothing bad. Sorry, I shouldn't have. Let me start over. He cleared his throat and stood up a little straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. Yeah, he's... he is definitely obsessed with water. I'll go with this one. He wasn't the only person like that in Sunside Bird. We moved across the street, see? He gestured towards the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Jin Galaxy, right? I met your moms earlier. They told me you were 8, just like him, so... He shook the $20 bill to bring your attention, a hopeful smile sitting on his lips at the corners. I'm only 8! Oh dear. Okay, so... Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance. And you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him.
Do you mind?
But you gotta keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. I'm just gonna eye him up. What could be so bad about this Cove kid that his dad would need to bribe strangers to be friends with him? What do you say? Want to make it a deal? You're gonna run away. Let's not take the money. I don't want to be paid for that. It's too weird. He deflated enough to notice, but not completely.
Are you sure?
It won't be so bad. Even if it's just for the summer, that'd be enough. That only made this sound more strange to you. Why does it lasting for the summer matter? When it was clear his initial strategy wasn't going to fly, he tucked the bill into a back pocket and changed the request. I get it. You don't have to. Would you be comfortable with he and I coming by for a normal visit? No money involved. Well, he's met our mom, so that's okay. I don't want to be rude and not answer him. I wonder if these colours mean anything. We'll go, okay, you could do that. His smile got bigger again. His eyes crinkled at the sides. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to make and greet the neighbours today, but... well, I don't know what he's gotten off to. He laughed when he said that. But with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, tell him to come on home. He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. I have pink glasses. Sure thing. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that, but you were still going to help. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, and then pulled his hand away instead. Your mom's already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. I thought he might come back, and that's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, Jin. So much. You're talking to an 8-year-old. This is weird. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Are we gonna find him? First sight, step 1. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore, and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. Well, I do love the ocean. I do love the stories. Yeah, let's go for imaginative. You love to hear the stories about the sea, about the merfolk and the sea serpents you imagine living far beneath the waves. Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen a flash out of the shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you weren't alone. So you glanced around. Found him! There was a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within a long grass, and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have huge glasses. I can see where that's coming from. Wavy eyebrows. We'll go with sad frowns. But this new boy did. You wondered what could have upset him. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, and then another. And then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. Just go with hi. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his sides. He didn't say anything, just stare at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks, and his knees soaking the hem of his shorts. And his eyes were still shining with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said struck out to you. Cove? Eyes wide, he studied you. How'd you know that? I don't think him and his dad get along. I'm all-knowing. I'm smart. That's a lie. Tell the truth. Okay, that didn't work very well. Okay, your dad told me who you were.
Oh.
So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave it if it is. I shake my head. While doing so, you also picked at a strand of lint on your leg. What a weird question to ask someone. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. The night wind was cool as it travelled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked him the question. Almost like they never stopped, his tears started again with a vengeance. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears that fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. I'm sorry. Your dad seems nice. You like it here? Stop crying. Tough love. Should we go tough love? We'll go tough love. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You were tired of seeing him crying so much already. He should learn to toughen up. Babies cried. But from way off in the distance you heard your parents. Jen!
Cove?
Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here. I want to go home. I don't want to go back to that house. You can handle it. And even if you can't, he's your dad, right? Yeah, he is. Dusting the grass off your pants, you stood up. So you didn't come here by yourself or with a stranger. He's gotta take care of you no matter what. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked towards the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm. Sorry. I still don't want to go. We'll try and convince him. Are you sure? You have to stay outside the whole night and sleep on wet grass. Before Cove could say anything, you heard his dad's voice ring again, even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, face filled with worry. Ooh, I got two moms. I'm a lucky girl. Jin, you're here after all. We had been at the park to check for Cove, and we heard what happened earlier. When you met the new neighbor, I thought you might have gone further away. Should we be truthful? Or we were sitting in the grass? We'll go with Cove wasn't really wanting to go home yet. Mommy gave Cove a small smile, and she turned back to you. Thank God you're both fine. You two having fun out here? You looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. That's a bit sudden, isn't it? He's good. I think I'm going to marry him. Nah. We'll go eat. Yeah, he's alright. No, he's not. I'll shrug. He's new here. It was okay. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you.
That's a relief.
Thanks very much for finding him. I don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Jin knows this whole area so well. Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for all of us. Say goodbye, Cove.
Bye.
Bye, crybaby. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading toward the neighborhood when you watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what, we'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? Yeah, let's show him my stuff.
Of course.
Then okay? Both of your moms laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put his arm around your shoulder, her arm, and led you towards the path. Satisfied and a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Ooh, choose your feelings for Cove, okay. Can change in later steps. What would I say I feel for Cove? I think direct. We need to be direct with him, blunt and upfront. So direct. Oh, the little face changes. Haha, blushing. No. We're direct. So we are ready and direct with Cove. Until step 2, that's absolutely fine. The next morning, you finished your breakfast so fast that you nearly puked it back up again. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you stayed put. Today, just like your mom had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. As if he turns up. Excited to see your new friend again, Jen? I can't wait to see him.
How sweet.
Isn't that the sweetest thing? I bet the two of them are going to be great playmates.
Okay.
With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Yeah, that sounds like me. My bowl was entirely empty, so yeah, I'm done. Good job. He should be here soon. Cleanup began, and then, on cue, there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Jin, could you go get it? You practically leapt out of your chair on the way to the door. Hey, Galaxy family. Thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your moms had called him, and his son were there. They were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him, and Mom and Mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see the interesting new boy again, you smile at Cove. Cove returned it shyly. Mom, we're gonna go play in my room. Your guest blinked, but didn't protest.
Okay. Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
See you later, son. Play nice. You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. My things. There were loads of stuffed animals and a cool bed and a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of that room. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. Me too. I drew that. That was me. Thank you. I don't. Let's go. I drew that. That was me. It's all me. Cool. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. I wouldn't say I was nervous. Wasn't really awkward, I would say. Glad for the company. Glad for the company. It was nice to have someone new to play with. Then his eyes landed on your tiny box of beach things you'd collected, tucked away by your door. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? The hoard of stuff I found on the beach.
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. I do. Look. You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand.
Neat.
This is in good condition. You got the sense from the tone of his voice he wasn't just saying it to be nice, or to be like Silo. He actually meant it. I forgot about Silo. Silo? He's friends with my older sister. He's supposed to hang out here this afternoon. Do I have to see him? You don't have to do anything, but he's going to be here. Anyway, I found this gigantic shell here stuck to an even bigger rock. You pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one and holding them against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Ooh, could learn some science names. Lots of funny stories. No, because he seems like he's quite interested, so we'll go with sciencey names. You had a whole picture book dedicated to different shells and sea life. You learned a lot by flipping through its pages. Apparently fascinated, either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. It was a new experience to be the center of such a dedicated focus. For some reason, it was making your cheeks feel warm. You had never felt like this around someone before. It was kind of weird, especially as an 8-year-old. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this, meeting you. You guessed it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not by a parent making it happen. You're trying to slip me $20. Even though I'm from the UK, so we say pounds. 20 pounds. That's quite a lot of money for an 8-year-old. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was part of that. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was part of that would be a bad idea. I must learn to speak. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Silo's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. Is this some sort of tradition? I bought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Let's make him comfortable. Great! Bust it open! We can keep looking while we wait for Silo. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned it to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I like this one. I think this one is the best of them. Now let's give it to him. We've got enough shells. Cove looked at you in surprise, his eyes going wide. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? Uh-huh, but I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. You got the impression that he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. I'll insist. It's just a shell. I can pick up another one. It's for you. No, it's okay for you. He pushed the shell against Cove's chest, willing him to receive the present, but Cove firmly shook his head and kept his arms tightly at his sides. Take the damn shell. It was a battle you couldn't win. At least not today. Cove was your neighbour now. Maybe you should give it to him another time. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound of it. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Silo. You knew where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but you didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. It's just Silo. And where would you even go? He's at our door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked on the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. I don't even know who Silo is. We'll go with Silo's the least scariest person in the world, even though I don't even know who he is. Every single bunny rabbit is scarier than Silo. But I don't want to see him, I don't know him. I'll comfort him. I get it, this isn't the best way to ever meet Silo. Sorry. Thanks. Silo poked his head into the living room. It was impossible to know for sure if he had heard what you'd been saying or not, but you guessed that he had.
Hi!
Oh, he's a little baby! And hi, Cove. Cove shot you an uneasy glance.
Hi.
I'm Silo. Pleased to meet you. Yeah. You have a lot of freckles. Right. I do. What are you guys doing? We're looking at shells.
Can I do it too?
Yeah, man. He wouldn't accept my shells, but you might. Cove shrugged and then looked back at your box of beach findings. What about that one? The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at beach things some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. This is a scallop shell. Tasty. I found last week. I kept it because it looks neat. It's a pretty color, kind of like my cast. The beautiful pink, glistening pink, did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. But you're decked out in blue. Okay.
Oh?
Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool.
I guess.
I like the blue. The blue's my favorite. I like blue.
Awesome!
Both of them smiled. Like usual, it didn't take very long for Silo to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Silo didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mere mention of the park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yeah, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before he even answered, and Silo jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do? Too? Right, Jid. The park. It's fun. It's old. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah!
It's right by the beach, so there's lots of fun stuff to do, and lots of sand. There's a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we going to find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just want to check the park out. Adrift, without any direction, Silo finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go? It was only fair. Oh. Okay, we're going to the park now. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your mom that it was so short she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. And when you found her, she was hanging on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie! Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. Jin! Silo!
Hi.
She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Silo had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was the three of you, but now Cove was here. It was nice to have someone who stuck with you. Who's that? Is that my sister? Oh my god. We are so different in color. We must all be adopted.
It's Cove. He's new. Hi.
I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestured widely with her arms, as if to present the area to the newcomer. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wiggle your toes through the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job?
Lizzie is the oldest.
By a lot. My mom said you're Jin's age.
Yeah.
Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. What about the other kids?
Other kids?
There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Silo's just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of the ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth. They suck it from you like a succubus.
Oh.
For a second, it looked like he might cry again. But something in his eyes shifted, and he looked back at Lizzie. We're kind of old people, like moms and dads or grandparents. Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Well, no, we don't want him to look like a baby, so we'll go only some of them. You interjected quickly, hoping Lizzie wouldn't take things too far. Cove sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own little head. Silo was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation.
I met Lizzie and Jin in school. You'll see tons of kids once summer is over.
I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Silo looked down into the dirt. He hadn't had much luck striking up a conversation with Cove.
I like summer vacation a lot too.
All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Silo's discomfort, at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely you didn't know. But she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put up your feet, and get used to it. You offered him a small smile at that. And that, at least, looked to reassure him some. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Silo, and on some days, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way the sun and lunch and the beach were. Looking back on it years later, you would realize that you had a tiny crush on him right away.
Did I?
One that made you want to spend as much time with him as you could. Of course, that was only the start of things. Moment select step 1. Oh, and these are the DLCs that you can get. Okay, so with that, I guess we'll leave it there. We've been playing for nearly an hour. I know the tutorial was a lot longer than I expected. Maybe they should have put a little warning on that. There's a lot to read. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this game so far. I'll have to come up with more voices, or at least more in-depth voices when I don't have so much of a sore throat. But yeah, thanks for joining me in my stream, and see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.